Then the mother of Zebedee's sons came to Jesus with her sons, and kneeling down, asked a favor of him. "What is it you want?" he asked. She said, "Grant that one of these two sons of mine may sit at your right and the other at your left in your kingdom." "You don't know what you are asking." Jesus said to them. "Can you drink the cup I am going to drink?" "We can," they answered. Jesus said to them, "You will indeed drink from my cup, but to sit at my right or left is not for me to grant. These places belong to those for whom they have been prepared by my Father." Guys, I want to repeat that. Jesus said to them, "You will indeed drink from my cup, but to sit at my right or left is not for me to grant. These places belong to those for whom they have been prepared by my Father." Greeting, guys. It is me here with a message of the kingdom of heaven. Guys, here there's something very important I wanted to speak about. I always speak about, here on earth, the position of a president, that it's a very high position, guys. It's the biggest position here on earth, you understand. I call it the highest call, of the kingdom of darkness, because these people are leading. It's the dead leading the dead. It's the darkened leading the darkened. You understand? It's the blind leading the blind. Let's stop there, guys. I've said enough. But now, guys, we are speaking about the kingdom of heaven. And the difference between the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of darkness is that the kingdom of heaven, guys, we don't apply for positions. You understand? We don't look for opportunities just like it is done here in the kingdom of darkness. In the kingdom of heaven, guys, because it's a kingdom, it's a king with sons and angels. You understand? That's why Daddy, after Adam disconnected from them and died spiritually, and Daddy and Jesus, they came back and said, "We're giving the blood because we want back our children." You understand? Now in the kingdom, guys, people are born into positions. Jesus was born a king. As I always said, and I'm going to say it again, to compare Jesus to a president, that is an insult to Jesus. Because a president is a leader of the blind. A president is darkened, is blind, is of the kingdom of darkness. You understand? Jesus is a God. You understand? A president was elected into the position, was voted. A president, guys, must please us in order for us to keep him. In other words, his fate is in our hands. But with Jesus, his fate is not on anyone's hands. If you hate him, so. Guys, if you sit and you're like, "I hate Jesus," so that will not change his position. He is a king. He is born into this position. You understand? He's a son of God, the firstborn, born into the position. You understand? Adam came from Jesus. You understand? In other words, he was actually a secondborn, or was born through the firstborn. You can say that. You understand? But now in Adam's, there were two seeds. We always say this: the sheep and the wolves. The sheep were the other elects. That's why if you go to the book of Revelations, you'll find that Daddy says they were elected from before the creation of the world. The sheep. That's why also in Genesis, where, guys, things began, when Adam died spiritually, Daddy spoke to Satan and said, "My seed will fight with your seed." You understand? So Daddy always had that in mind, that my seed are there. They are dead. So he brought the blood for the seed. You understand? For his sheep, because the sheep belong to his kingdom. Now in the kingdom of heaven, guys, just like Jesus, people are not elected into positions. You don't apply for a position in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? You are born into the kingdom of heaven. In the new earth, there won't be prophets, pastors, teachers, and evangelists and all. Those positions were given on this side so that we can do the work of Christ. You understand? Recently, I've been speaking about being called. You understand? And speaking to those who are sent. You understand? But there are positions, just like Jesus, guys, is a king. You understand? So there will be positions as well we will find when we get there. You know what I mean? Nevertheless, guys, while here we apply for positions, you look for a position and you apply, you know. In other words, we look for opportunities. But guys, in the kingdom of heaven, nobody looks for position. What happens is, because we're born spiritually dead through Adam, so the sheep, even if you're not a sheep, you'll become born again if you get saved, if you're a wolf. It's just that you will not obey Jesus. You will change his word and do your own things and serve him in your own terms if you're a wolf. But if you're a sheep, what will happen is that once you are born again and you know the truth, obviously you will obey him, because John says that he who is born of God does not continue in sin, because the seed of God remaineth in the person. So the mere fact that he says does not continue, it means that you were sinning because you didn't know. But now, because you know and you are a sheep, you are born of God, you have the seed of God, the sameness of the seed, which is the sheep, you know. So you won't continue in sin. You stop sinning. Now what happens is you will start knowing, you know, Jesus will introduce you to who you are. You will now understand who you are. You understand? You are not going to be applying for positions, but Jesus will reveal who you are in the kingdom of heaven. In fact, he will reveal who you are, the real you, because you were the lie you. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. You were the lie you because you were born dead. And you don't, all this nonsense you are learning here, which is the nonsense we learned from the tree of good and evil, you doubt that this was it. And now you'll find the truth that, no, wait a minute, actually this was a nonsense, it wasn't it, you know. And then you will find the truth and you will learn the real you. Jesus will now start introducing you to the real you, and then he will start preparing you to be who you were born to be. You understand? Because that's what he wants you to be on that other side, not on this side. Jesus will never prepare you for this side, because you don't belong to this kingdom. You are a foreigner in this kingdom. So he will never prepare you for this kingdom. Don't listen to these nonsensical preachings and songs about Jesus preparing you for this kingdom. That's nonsense from the pit of hell. Those are the wolves preaching their own wolf beast message. You understand? Jesus will prune you. That's why Jesus says that I've actually appointed you to go and bear fruit that will endure. And Daddy will prune you. You know, he will prune you. You will become better. He will take you to this test, to that test. It will test you left, right, and center. Your life will be a series of tests, because he's pruning you. Yes, it's not easy when he's testing you, but he's pruning you. And then why he's doing that? He's doing it because he is actually shaping you to become. He's preparing you to be that which you were born to be. You know, I was speaking about the fact that Jesus came here on earth and he did not even look for a wife, because the sheep is the wife of Jesus. So he came here for the sheep. He says, I'm willing to die for the sheep, and I'm going to die for the sheep. And he says, the Father has given me the greatest, referring to the sheep. You understand? And he says, I know them and they know me, and I call them by name. You understand? So he prunes them. He prepares them to be who they were born to be, and he's preparing them for himself, because he is the husband and the sheep is the wife. So he's preparing Peter, he's preparing John, he's preparing you, so that you, when you live here, you will be exactly what you were born to be. You understand? So that when you get there, you will just enter into your position. I don't know, guys, if you understand. So we were reading from this part. This lady was actually asking Jesus that one of his sons sits at the right and the other at the left in his kingdom. And Jesus says, lady, you are speaking nonsense. You are talking rubbish. You can't ask me that. Why? Because these places belong to those for whom they have been prepared by my Father. You understand? People were prepared there. You know, maybe Moses is also sitting, you know, close to Jesus. Maybe David is also sitting next to Jesus. You understand? Maybe you will be sitting right close to him. Guys, I usually tell my Lord, I say, my Lord, damn, I'm trying to enter there. Guys, I'm not perfect, but when I know the truth, I stop. I really, really, really stop, because I want to get to that kingdom. I want to make it to that kingdom. And I usually tell my Lord, and I'm like, my Lord, my life is a series of tests, and I'm tired. I'm tired of this series of tests. I'm just done. I'm tired. And I see it, and I'm like, oh, damn, what if my position is bigger than what I thought? Because if my position is bigger than what I thought, he would have to prune me the more. You understand? And guys, I usually tell him, I said, my Lord, as long as I enter, I said, as long as I enter, even if I stand by the gate there, and sit there by the gate, I don't even come closer, it's okay. Enough is enough. Enough pain, guys. Guys, I'm telling you, my life, guys, is a series of tests. Enough is enough. And I tell him, enough is enough. And I say to him, as long as I enter, even if I stand there by the gate, I don't even get closer, it's okay. Enough is enough. I can't take it anymore now. Guys, when you can't take it anymore. And I quote word to him. I tell him, I said, you said that you will never test us beyond what we can bear. I can't bear this anymore. This is too much now. This is really, really too much. And guys, the worst part is that the people I'm around are people who have given in. So there's no one I can go to and cry to and say, hey, my Lord is doing this, I have to go back to my Lord. I mean, guys, hello. This guy is the one who's pruning me. This guy is the one who's dishing these things to me, and yet I have to go and cry to him, because there's no one to cry to here. People have given in. Pastors have given in to the beast. They preaching money, preaching blessings, preaching careers, and all. They are preaching what helps you here on this earth, on this side, not what will help you when you leave. So I can't go to those people. You understand? So that's what makes it 10 times harder. That the person who is pruning me is the very person who's comforting me, and is the very person I have to go to and cry to. And I tell him, my Lord, I'm tired. You are pruning me, you are comforting me, and now I'm crying to you. I want to cry to someone, and it's hard. And I tell him, I say, listen, it's okay if I just enter. I can stand there by the gates and don't come closer. It's fine, because enough is enough. This is beyond what I can bear now. Guys, guys, when it gets to that, so he's actually pruning you because of the position that you have to take, when you get there, because you are born into the position. You are born. That's why he gives us this gift. These gifts are innate. The spiritual gift as well as the physical gift, they are innate, meaning they are inborn. You understand? You are born with them because they are there to make sure that you do his will here. And by doing his will, you are also, learning as much. Because if you're going to church and you're not doing his will, it's like you are an onlooker standing out looking in, because it doesn't help you. His word is supposed to be a couple, guys, is supposed to be coupled together with experience. It's called practice. That's why after you finish high school, you go and learn, and learn about a job. Or even if you go to varsity, you go and learn, and train and get that experience. So it's the same thing. While you're reading the word, it must be in line with you doing his will. It's like you're getting experience as well as theory, in the word. So when you live here, but by the time you live here, you should be prepared. You understand? So he's pruning you, because when you belong to the kingdom of heaven, you don't apply for positions. You don't ask him, I want to be a teacher, I want to be this, I want to be that. No, in fact, those positions, I don't think they won't be. Maybe a teacher, yes, but some of these won't be necessary there. You understand? But you are being prepared, so you won't be applying for those positions, because you will be born into that position, so that when you get there, you just enter. So daddy is preparing you, because these places are prepared for those who, you understand? So you need to understand that. Thank you.